Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Heart to Heart with Spiritual and That sounds like a show. Was there actually a show named that? Probably that was. But yeah, we are here to read some adventures in the TARDIS. And here is today's Southampton.
Goodness.
And funny enough, this can be coming from both Crackle, this can be coming from Mirage, or literally anyone who they could have a heart-to-heart with horse.
I gotta say, you made a pretty good shot this time.
I mean, it's not really a shot in the dark. I shot at a very big target. Yes. Hi, Arthur.
Fresh lemon.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, you make a t-shirt out of it. But yeah, I assume we are gonna talk to Gretel and not Mirage. Although they both have holes in their heart and in their life and in their wings. I mean, Gretel doesn't really have that yet. But let's see. Oh god. Yay, my areas are not clean. In my turn. Here turns over, as she starts to turn away. Slowly her eyes open to view the inside of the cabin, which to a perspective is currently sideward. She also sees dim lighting in here, and the fact it is very quiet. For just a brief moment, she paused to admire this silence. It felt like such a long time for her to feel safe enough to be okay. It also felt like ages since she slept at all. It feels almost weird to her to finally get most of her time back. I mean, we have a confirmation that Starbucks has been looking after the kids for a week now. Or around the week, because he couldn't really keep track of the time.
Yeah.
That's all of it, and she can still feel that it's a attack from Mirage, as she attempts to take control over her. At this precise moment, it does not feel like Mirage is making any serious attempt. Just a light song. It is either changing in distracted with something else. Or somebody else. Those of that put Crackle on alert again. All of a sudden, the quietness of the community disturbs her. She stops and ignites her horn with a soft purple aura. Using that, she can appear about in the gloom to assess her concentration. I mean, yeah, she doesn't know if while she was asleep, Mira took over her body and get alcohol. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
With the slide, he just got some to turn to look at her with his one good eye. The golden eye, right? I mean, is it golden? Did we establish what color eyes girls some have?
I don't think we established that, but I don't think it's golden. Probably
So,
more like brown.
he is not James Bond. It is the eye that visits, sadly. His eyes were so adjusted to the gloom. But Kaka's purple light does not irritate his eyes too badly. I mean, I probably assume it's either dark brown or black or something like that.
We got to see a mistake now.
Where do you see
You
mistake?
should say eye, not eyes.
I mean, his other eyes adjusted to the gloom as well.
One of the eye is
I know it's
damaged,
on.
so-
I know it's on this, but it is adjusted. It's not just edit her his eye at all. He noticed that he stood there silently, as usual, with his arms crossed, also as usual. What I knows most critical, which is also important to her, is the fact that Cam does not look too irritated or angry right now. He is usually as relaxed as she has ever seen the Michelin bodyguard to me. For him to be calm right now, it is a strong sign that probably nothing is currently wrong. Turning him out further, she notices that Cam is standing immediately adjacent to his sleeping parents. Does our father asleep in a wooden chair, with his high leg stool far next to it. He has the hood of his cape pulled down enough to conceal his eyes. Slow and with movement of his body indicates decent enough rest right now. Her yawns as she then rises up the couch. She slowly turns over towards her friend, to pose and admire his sleeping form. When she closes within 6 feet, however, Cam unfolds one arm from his chest in order to lift it, and his claw in a halting gesture. Looking at him, you can see he is still not too agitated. In fact, the expression seems a bit apologetic, but also the glint of firm-bonding look. Please don't wake him up. If put into words, the passion seems to say, "Pause. That's far enough." Look, I know your condition is not your fault, but your status is a bit compromised right now, so I will not allow you to approach any further while my leash is unconscious. You have been up this whole time? Cursorily asked Garfsum, the one who has been up for a week. Yes. The Minotaur. In reply, he slowly nods, after recrossing his arms. Do you ever sleep, big guy? I go fast forth to ask, and then Batman answers, "Does crime ever sleep?" I mean, he is very much close to it. Okay, now I think the Koi one. He seems to ask, what do you think? Doctor doesn't seem to sleep either. No, he has slept at least in your... Sorry, I don't know if he slept in Doctor Who. But why would we watch someone sleep? mostly a familiar voice. Something speaks somewhere in the cabin. As a matter of fact, Kakao checks around in attempt to locate the source of his voice, the voice. I already know who it is, that's why the source of his voice. And there are not many male counterparts in there. Other than the Doctor, and Padawan.
Yeah, well, Salazar, Featherwind, and the Doctor. And
Yeah.
Curbstoff if he was allowed to speak.
Yeah, so you can guess who I'm thinking is actually talking right now. Of
Yeah.
his voice.
You're probably right.
I mean, it can be Duffy as well, but Duffy is asleep. Well, we know. No, Duffy went back to the TARDIS.
It'd be funny if that statement was coming from the Doctor.
I mean, no, I have not seen the Doctor talking. He is not the master. He's not talking third person. The other person she finds in the cabin is who is awake, the small, almost fawn-like looking blue unicorn. Yeah, I mean, he is closest to an unicorn. A flying unicorn, right? Who's flying away on doing clothes because of leaking mist. Even though always had experiences with foreign lately, the side of the cloak momentarily puts her on for the ride. Looking her expression, you are loose at his own cloak, and the fair to take a moment to figure out why it's not on her so. Seems to quickly figure it out. Oh, yeah. Right. And look at her. Don't worry about this cloak, it is magical, and I made it myself. I also made the phone. You're an entrance, sir? It's funny. Coming back to Hunter x Hunter. That would mean a little bit different. Because as she slowly moves to join the short unicorn, who was sitting in a wooden dinner table. I mean, in a sense, Kakao is an entrance too, right? Or would she be considered transmuter? No, that's
It's going to be mentioned in this chapter, but it's actually a very, very common profession for all unicorns during this time because that's their main technology source.
Yeah, enchanting, dual crafting, and all the other stuff that that needs higher power and precision. And the wind confirmed a lot to her. But I suppose that shouldn't surprise you. I thought you was also a common place for unicorn in the question back in your time, huh? I heard about that. So you are from the future? No, I am from the present, you are from the past. Because as she started to recede, because from the blue unicorn stallion. Also, most unicorns being ancient is no longer a thing in your time. I say your question then answer is yes. And the answer is. As for the second, not as much. Technology is much is not that much. Makes sense. It's more advanced in more time. In my time. So that puts less reliance and strain on the unicorn society to be adjusted. That in turn meant they were more free to go after other pursuits. If you ask me, I would say that in a good thing. You're always pushing unicorns to be adjusted and not push up strain on them. Electricity Mark Destiny pushes more for something else. I mean, yeah, but even back in the time when they had the very different question mark destinies, they still pursued that, I assume. In this case, I think you are not a wizard. Maybe not a rat either. Oh, you don't know that he's coming from a very wealthy family for what I know. There's multiple ways of getting rich. One of them is inheritance. I can switch at him. But I think you are. You do not have a You do have a distinguished speech pattern, befitting catalog ability. Same as me. Yeah. I don't know. But may not be as common in my time, or nobility for that matter, but I just happened to me all three. Even the roof to gesture to himself. My most given name is Quill Scroll of the Scroll family. But ever since I discovered my cutie mark, I've taken the name of Father Wind. It's friendly. I think he says slightly, I see it. It is a name my father had mostly chosen to ignore, but he does not complain anymore when others call me that. I mean, I can see the father side of the story as well, because they have chosen him a good name, and it's hard to change. But I can see his side as well.
Yeah, Arthur Scroll is a strong traditionalist.
I don't think we need this very fast, really. And not really the dark either.
The tone of this chapter is pretty much like what you've been reading so far, so that's not going to change much.
You tell me the thing, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I think I met one of your ancestors.
What did I say?
I think you skipped some of the middle of the part of the sentence.
I don't think so, but sure. But yeah, that's the problem, because his ancestors are sort of nobilities. Uh-oh. And I remarked it, I spoke to him. Based on the look in your eyes, I'm guessing the meeting didn't go well. I mean, I met one of your ancestors on a job, and we were actually taking out some under the table ideas. Let's just say it like that. Not at all. That's honestly, it's hard to assume. Like any other of my fellow nobles, this one makes fun of me because of my cutie mark. I have a passion for marks, you see, and most of my fellow nobles look down on me accordingly. He look out spitefully, and she is menacingly. Even my own mother. And as she spits out that last word, right? Even my own brother. And we have seen the relationship between them. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I reply sympathetically. Wow! Her mother, as her looking back at him. You are way different than the clothing of Christina. You follow her everywhere, like lost puppies. But I don't think her is my guess. Proud noticing? You mean think that must not up in her flank?
Yeah, something like that. means basically kiss ass.
Yeah. They were so determined to get on the good side that they agreed with her about everything. And one of the firm opinions she had about me is the fact that I deserve to be picked on, because of my talent, and passion being an effect for conservative normality. Thanks. That
You know,
reminds me of it very much.
in the show, though, meaning by that time, it seems very rare for any pony to be looked down upon because of the cutie mark or look regarded with suspicion. In fact, I can only think of one example in the entire show, and that was two parents' nervousness over their daughter's cutie mark because it has a skull in it.
Oh yeah. He goes, oh no, they're gonna be pirates.
Yep.
And they became an archaeologist.
But
I mean,
I'm writing this chapter as if this time period isn't quite as progressive.
yeah. I mean, they were more like, oh, you don't have a cutie market, you don't have a talent at all.
Yeah, around this time period, it's a little more about survivability rather than harmony.
Yeah. On the mid-size, I said it that before saying, believe me, I know what that is like. Halloween is basically a horror film. Cannot fit inside the human society or the elf society either. But in his way, he cannot fit into the parasite and the unicorn society.
Yeah. Well, if there was a druid society, he would be a strong fit in for there.
I mean, there are not many druids in the timeline, for all we know. I mean, if there are, they are living in a hermitry, so we can find them. Well, sort of, he amended with a shrug. He didn't make her up, as he said. From the sound of it, I wasn't picked on that much because my family has high status in Catalan in my time. That goes noble for my father, also school. He head of Silverhorn Academy in my time. His influence is so great that he even has the ear of the princess. He had it framed on the wall. He can tell things like that definitely get noticed. Tell me about it. He agrees with a roll of her eyes. If anybody seems to have a decently consistent presence in the princess identity, they are considered a cream of the crop among Catalan nobles. Or maybe Camelot, right? However, I've had the ear of the princess too, a meeting secret, and I know something about her that most others don't. If one has her interest in attention, it is because they have done something to earn it. That's not always a good thing, but it is something very often overlooked by others who look about such an attention with envy. They like to think that getting her interest in attention is simply a mark of inheritance. So I but the truth is, it must be earned. Theoretically, any pony could have knowledge, not just a nobility. I know this well, the short. I've had an audience with her myself a few times. Sometimes it is over an urgent issue. You should actually make sure that you are talking about the same princess. Wind. Just that you are talking about Princess Celestia. Not Regina, not Luna, not anybody else. Because throughout time, there have been a lot of regular changes. But more of them will write each other letters. Because she's interested in the never of bilateral gifts. Well, you see, in my time, I'm often celebrated to be Equestria's first flying unicorn. Wait a moment. That's a lie. Because I turn into a changeling before you do. And I can fly in that form.
Yeah, she certainly predates him, but that's kind of more of a secret in her time.
And also, yeah, she doesn't become a unicorn anymore. But she can change form to become a Pegasus, and she can fly in this form.
Or an alicorn if she wanted to.
Yeah, so in a sense, she is the first flying unicorn. Not Featherwind.
Well, Somber was able to pull it off, but only in a smoke form.
That was floating, not flying.
Okay. Going back further, I've seen Starspoil the Bearded pulled it off too.
Was he flying or was he using cloud?
He was flying using his magic in the same way the Starlet was, but I've only seen him do it once.
Oh.
He landed in the Everfree Forest that way when it was under attack. Or, while it was attacking. Because the Tree of Harmony was recently slain.
Okay, let's say that he is the first flying unicorn using the wind current as flying.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The method that Feather is using is, as far as I know in the show, pretty unique.
Yeah, it is the first unique flying. Him that Quill can go to lift a curious eyebrow at him. Yeah, because what Starlight was doing is not actually flying, it is levitating herself. Right? Which Featherwind tried as well, and it wasn't really that working for him because it was ticklish.
Yeah, this story is arguing that it would be that for Starlight too, but she's so good at concentration she can ignore that.
Yeah.
He has two other advantages on that regard though. He's lighter, so it's easier. It doesn't cost as much magic to lift himself, and then he can lighten his weight even further.
Yeah, and also he is mostly using the wind current to fly, not magic.
Over time, his concentration was improving too. He is training to be a wizard after all.
You are a lizard, Harry. That's how we've done.
So, what if right after Harry heard that, he does a tongue thing?
I mean, he had the partial tongue.
Yeah.
Seeing that he is at her, as he said. I am often again that you doesn't look from others as well. And I also police them that news. But it is not true.
It is true.
But it is true. I said not true. Yeah.
Not in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I realize that. You You run a hotel balloon business or something? You figure logically. Remember, I said first. I'm pretty sure there were hotel balloons in your time as well.
Yeah, it would certainly predate Feather.
Yeah. But then he shook his head as he said, no, why should I medical link to the air and try far more directly? The elements and I are so What?
Intrinsically.
I am learning.
Basically means deeply connected, interwoven.
My nature in itself. So naturally linked. Like I let my mother wait so much that I can be blown by the wind. That is my new name. That sounds inconvenient. Hell figures. Remember the words I said I can.
Yep.
It only happens when I want it to. That's a little too much.
You're probably right, actually.
But I clarified. I have control over that magical talent. It only happens when I want it to, and somebody else wanted to. It isn't inconvenient to me. How is it? If you are ever that light, then you will be sitting in the air whenever that happens. That may be fine for you, but for me? No, thank you. I keep the talent and gifts at a whole distance away. Well, that is where my mischief comes in. Understand? With a brief glance at his shoulder, which covered by his cloak. He then looked back at her. It is made of magical contact cloud. So much so, it is solid to the touch, or still sensible. I have so put it into 4 corners of this cloak, and think my home in it whenever I am being blown by the wind. That sort of makes me like you can't expect without a thing. My talent allow me to control the weather, and I don't even use my standard unicorn magic to do it. It's more like I talk to it, convince it to do something for me, and it does it. So you have a Deus Ex Machina.
Town is a lot like Storm from X-Men.
I mean, he could be actually making fun of Rainbow Dash. Okay, Rainbow Dash, have a bet. Can you make it? Can you clear the sky in 10 seconds? Yeah, I can. And then he starts the sky. Be cloudy. Every time she moves away, move back.
I can hear her complain like, "Hey, what gives?" Oh, so you want to play rough, huh?
She would probably think that the Arrow Force is attacking or something again. You know that happened.
Hold on.
Oh god, right there. In the meantime, while we're waiting. That's a long phone call. Okay. Hey, in the meantime, I will just continue. You know, you tell me a long phone call. Whoa! Your mind is right in amazement. Okay, now I'm impressed. Even without the weird flying thing that is influence over the weather alone, amazing superpower and talent. Is an unnerving responsibility at times, and I report a little nervously. At that moment, he could not keep eye contact with her. The power of the frightens me, because I don't want to hurt any pony. His eyes seem back to her. But when it comes to the sky and the weather, we are just part of each other. But it is just me and the nature with no sort of responsibility burdening my shoulders. I am one with my element, so to speak. No pressure, no rules, no society, no standards, just me and virgin nature. Sounds lonely, she observes. It can be, but the weather talks to me, so I don't feel too bad about it. She shares back. That sounds as ridiculous as the only saying that the only friends are trees and the rocks. Hey, saying to her girl and mood. They replies to the king. Somewhere out there, I wouldn't put it past somebody to feel that way exactly. The figures. When it comes to the most fellow of our cutie marks, our destiny and medical talent, we are suddenly a very athletic case. If you stop thinking about that. Stop thinking about that.
I am back, by the way.
Welcome back. I don't know how long the podcast is gonna be, so I continue a little bit.
Yeah, I understood.
That would mean all the more clear to me that I met a pony. Wasn't really a pony, but an alien who simply looks like a pony. And also, he's in the nurse store. Have you seen the little picture I showed on the screen?
A little bit. Go ahead and show it again.
Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, Suckalo.
Doctor? Nothing else. Let me know that, son. Because when we grew up as ponies, we usually think of all of this. Injections all around them. It's normal. We are so used to our idiosyncrasies.
Idiosyncrasies.
Is this how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you write it. I have never seen it in plural. Telling with the doctor, however, made me realize that we are really like from made me realize what we are really like from an outsider's perspective. He looks around, suddenly alert, and asks, "Speaking of the doctor, where is he? I don't see him here. And also, yeah, you look like a traveling circus. We have a big, burly female Pegasus, a small child-looking unicorn who flies around. We have a pony who is not a pony and has 2 hearts. And we have Durfee. We don't have to talk more about that, right? That's a circus too. Then because he is not here, he is standing just outside of the cabin. For some reason. And I will answer as he nods to the front exit and then enters. That seems dangerous. Because Adam will look to the door. That's the one who was doing that for how long? Remember you were doing the same thing to stop the mosquitoes from entering? Because yes, they cannot exist inside the door because there is no mist, but they have physical forms outside and they can open the door if they get close enough. So there has to be at least one guard outside. But no choice, as he said. Doctor seems confident he can move for himself down there. I guess he's performing some kind of experiment. It shows. He's like an awesome. Always exploring and testing things. He likes to see how things work. He moves his gaze back to her. He's brilliant beyond all comparison too. Actually one of the traits that hints at his alien origin. The fact that he is smarter than any mortal body can be. His brain is just weird. I almost read weird. Wired differently, I guess. I mean, that wouldn't be too far from the apple tree. He's just saying, his brain is just weird. What about the other two? He was asked as she looked by his father. The gray Pegasus with the red weird eyes, and the white one with in the white lab coat. Yeah, back in the TARDIS. And that's another look shy. I am not allowed to say how. Well, my guess is it has something to do with the teleportation circle. The someone is immune on this ground here. Here figures as she looks upon it. How do you know it's a teleportation circle?
Too strange and enchanting.
It's just a circle with gems. You shouldn't be able to know that it's a teleportation circle unless you know gemology.
Yeah, it's got teleportation runes. She may have encountered stuff like that in her investigations.
But are the runes inside the gems?
It is when it's not on the floor. But after it's pressed to the floor, it puts a circle there, and anyone can see it after that.
Oh, That's what the goodness I was missing.
Yeah. It's almost as if the stone draws it on the ground.
Oh yeah, I thought it was just like 8 gems put on the floor and that's all. But you are not wrong there, and I replied with a chicken gun. That should mean they are safe for now. That's good to know. She said as she looks it up. She even leaned her head and like just a bit over the back of a wooden chair. One last word for me. Good. Her face remains firm. Her face firms, sorry. That will make it easier to focus on the remainder of my mission. Wow! Another moment. You are the first agent to smile that I have met, and you are not smiling. Or an agent, for that matter. That you know of? Because I thought actually if we look at him. Because agent? Hinting? Touché. And I gave the light painful tickle. As a matter of fact, that thought crossed my mind right after I said that. In hindsight, it was a stupid comment of mine. I'm not usually like that. Sure. My own affair is more secret than most. I will end wistfully. I am one of some agents, and this time, you know my ability to transform. You can imagine how advantageous that can be in a second spy world.
Well, it's advantageous.
What did I say?
I think you said advantage.
That must be because of my mouth.
Yeah.
Advantageous. There you go. That gives me advantage. Use at her rules. It said that someone sort of got an upgrade. You know, my infection from Mirage. Or the dark power comes at a cost. You are literally getting a taste of what will wait for you. You don't have to rely upon that power anymore. We are here. Said the urged innocently. We have come to rescue you. All of you who are sent here. He looks at fundamental and sharp anger as she is this. Stop it! You know it as well as I do that I will become a villain. Suddenly hurt and confused, but asked, stop what? Trying to develop a rapport with me, or trying to be my friend. Your answer mentally, the little eyebrow is suspicion. Didn't Agent Nana Doom push you up to this? He thinks Phenomenon is trying to play the good police officer. Instead of answering that last question, Phenomenon shakes his head as he asks, what's wrong with friendship? Because friendship is a disease that is saying out of the blood force's mouth. That's something that Crystal said later on as well. I can this as she powers the table with most of her homes. However, she the maid that Sarah did not wake up. You know that. But that is because he's only pretending to sleep right now. I mean, yeah, if you are not sleeping, then you cannot wake up. What? And then Louis taken aback. Why would you say something like that? Because it is true. Here goes angrily as she looks down. Love, Friendship, all of it. It is easy to scrap. I heard this here in the nail on that, right? I mean, I said murder, not of scrap.
Yeah, I was thinking you really got it close because of these quotes right here. And you do remember that other quote from the show, right?
Yeah. It's tries to make more care about something that can't be kept. To value something so much that you're able to lose somehow. It weakens you. It stupefies you. Makes you less than you were before. I know. I have seen it when it happened to my mother. He used to be a powerful and confident man, but when my father died, I saw her fall apart. Also, the music is doing something so.
Yeah, I just figured to write the kernels of her later personality was already back here, but this tries to explain it more in the present timeline context. Why would she have thought of that this way back then?
Yeah, that's it, better music for that. I told she was gonna talk about herself, that you know that her members are gonna get vibes. Hiroshi actually seemed to spiteful anger that had actively. Also witnessing that, I vowed I would never let that happen to me too. And you foreign as well. I remember you were deeply in love with Mr. Natadul. Prince. Never allowed myself to become that pathetic and weak. Ooh, I so loathe her and those insipid emotions that ruined her life. I promised myself I would never let that happen to me. You failed to follow your promise. Also, you are looking only at one side of the thing. You should look at what happened before your father died. How happy they were together. Here is the deep sigh that looks over her shoulder at the sheer form of Salazar, of whom she continues to be amazed that he remains asleep during her outburst. At that moment, she started to find the truth about him. What had happened, anyway? She continues more morosely. It's not fair. She looks down at the table, and the shadow of her own head on it. Along comes a royal prince, who is so perfect. It's like he left out of a false storybook of what a perfect prince would look and act like. I was not prepared for that. She shakes her head, and tears start to rise in it. He captured my heart so easily, and with such impunity. He made it look effortless. She raises her eyes shut and shakes with pain. I am so ashamed of myself for being that weak, for falling for something for the same time that befell my mother. She slips and gets her eyes open slightly. To be fair, he's extremely handsome and charming. Lightly trained to that affect the professional decay. I can well understand why true royalty would receive training like that, but for him, it was well beyond that. He touched my heart before I knew it, with his knowledge and roguish charm. The scoundrel. I actually do believe that if Chrysalis didn't attack Cancelot. Well, she did. Then the Pony Guy wouldn't have been ready for T-Rex. And if Chrysalis was not a pivotal point in time and history, it would have been changed. This is literally the stupid time travel syndrome and problem that, yeah, you can go back and kill someone who does something very heinous later on in time, but what you are doing is relating maybe a bigger evil. Someone else will go in front on top of the chain, who might be even worse.
Yeah, we've seen security step up for the Candlelit Castle over the years, and for good reason, but in all that time, that never happened to the Friendship Castle.
Because who discards when you have friends?
Yeah, it just continued to remain like a library and a home.
Yeah. It's quiet for a moment. I need a long breath before saying. And after all of that, I'm not even allowed to keep those memories. They will be ripped from me against my will. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's for the best. It probably is best if I forget one moment of weakness. One moment I was going the fastest and far from the time of the insidious emotions of friendship and love. I will even forget about your pathetic attempts to befriend me. As he spoke her last bit of sentence, she looked up at him and turned off, and she noticed him staring at her, and quietly crying. His eyes were quiet, pure, and innocent moment, but he regarded her with care. It is not impossible to fake, especially when falling into a line of work and others like it. But when she looks in his eyes, it felt absolutely genuine. He just had so much innocence and authenticity that the evidence he presented felt undeniable. He has been around long enough to know this kind of policy is true. All of a sudden, she received a flashback of the last time she saw a look like that in some Pontiac's eyes. Back then, it was also unexpected, for it was the eyes of the very ruler of this whole nation. Princess Celeste kind of was too, as she started Kakarot's body with a glorious white wings and named her hand over her. She remembers Celeste's warm tears thing and then onto her crown neck back then. Kakaro releases a long and slow breath as she continues to behold the unicorn stadium before her. His look of such quiet, but also passionate sympathy is heavily disarming to her, or to her own, otherwise very bitter emotions. Once again, what of her visit in private irritation, and on how she is so easily swayed by the actions and the actions of another. It makes her feel like she is less in control over her own life. And that is very important to her. Control. Because she was never a time in her life that she liked that. when others had power over her, and they used it against her, over and over again. The pain and humiliation of their thoughts and attacks, sharp reminder of powerlessness, and they kept kicking her while she was down. She lived in the world so much, back then, that society snapped, and she swore that she would one day get her revenge. Bitterness was the sweetest fruit she had ever known in her sad, pathetic life. And once in a while, though, somebody like him comes about. It can know the fancy that everybody is evil. I definitely love hate and bitterness. But sadly, there is a thing that exceptions make the rule stronger. Part of her is annoyed to come across something like that, which makes her let herself pain or emotions. So skating hard and complicates her life with more deep and annoying dynamic existential questions. With him, however, she just cannot stay mad at him. He just loses arming in his own adorable way. Nah. Never mind, I said. Anything I said. For some reason, this, I know it's just something, never mind. But for me, it sounds like Bugs Bunny. Nah, never mind anything I said. That would make ruin the mood if I said it like that.
So yeah.
Yeah. What's
You're
up,
nice
Doc?
to say yeah.
Yeah. You know, it takes him the more it's full of sort of fatigue. I'm just being weak again. I guess that's why I will one day become an awful monster, huh? He knows that I at him slightly. Of course you do that, didn't you? And you said try to reach out to me? Why? What's in it for you? I'm not going to remember this conversation anyway. Nothing you say or do here will matter in the long run. You might not remember, but I will, and you are not my master yet. Peter does not say anything. He continues to look at her, as tears roll down his eyes. There is some minimal hesitation in him though. You can see how he is trying very hard to remain quiet. Even when he is lost in his own pain, he continues to try to be cautious with those who are sleeping in the room. Maybe he is also shy. He goes aside and looks away from him. Also, we have a question.
Yeah.
We are missing one pony.
Who?
Who is it? He never asked about your future wife. He should be in the room too, right?
Yeah.
But he was not mentioned anywhere.
That's true. But she's probably asleep right now.
Asleep. This way she does not want to look upon him anymore. This is feelings of confusion over her own soul. Meaning that she has the deep wrestling of pain. That is the true basis for all of her fears, longing, bitterness, and hatred. The part of her that cries for attention, but she does not want to see it, because it is a reminder of the days where she had no power at all. These went kinda begging for pity was her only resort, and it did not work. If anything, it would only her bullets on further. It would give them evidence of success. Yeah, that is true. If you have a bullet and they see that it bothers you, they will just go on even stronger.
I'm just trying to give her a background to help to explain why she was so deeply twisted later.
Yeah. They realize that they managed to hurt her, exactly as intended. It's like leaking blood in a pool full of mighty cooler fish. It drove them to frenzy.
If you click on reading from the AI, it pretty badly miswords that by Dakuda.
I don't know if it will read that one part. No, I can't read that one part.
Yeah, I can't read the one part. It'll do the whole paragraph, and that one's near the end.
Yeah. It will be like, Mr. Akuda,
Something like that.
I'm going back to sleep. Her announced immediately. As she headed to her 4 rooms. I already slept some, but it was after weeks of fatigue. We can't resume our mission anyway, with some of the rest of our team down. So now is our only chance. We will need that thing too. The mission only gets harder from here. And the wind was about to his hand suddenly. Out of him worried if he somehow failed her. Good night. He admits as she thought so. She uses to ignore him, and is feeling as hard as she can. He is not entirely succeeding. And now she can't even fall asleep.
This is kind of a follow-up to an earlier chapter when Salazar requested her to try to reach out to her as a friend. He wouldn't because he requested to stay professional with him, so he attempted to get to her in a different way.
I mean, I assume that Fundament was not trying to do this because of Salazar. No, he just wanted to get to know her. He didn't meet her yet. Right? This is the first time they met.
Hey, you're right. He was genuinely trying to be friendly with her.
I see Kakarot's point.
Instructions, he might have been able to do this anyway.
Yeah. I see Kakarot's point as well. What's the point? That was the one that was twisting my nose the whole time. And there's one more coming. 1 point. Sorry about that.
In this chapter, as they get their heart-to-heart talk, the readers get to learn more about both characters too. Some of it is reinforcing what you already know, and some of it's might be new information.
It wasn't a heart-to-heart, it was a heart-to-heart. But yeah, Kakarot is not yet fully changed. He still has her body self. And once again, if she was not a pure of the void in time, they could change her.
You could see the deep seeds of bitterness and resentment in her too, but ponies were not incapable of that, so it's not a character to say she's can be like that way.
I mean, now you are giving her even more chance to turn away from the seeds of evil.
That was kind of Feather's hope. Despite the fact that it would screw up the timeline, it was part of him was interested to rescue her from that bad fate.
I
That's
mean,
why I said a few paragraphs above. Part of him worries if he somehow failed her.
now that I think about it, if she was not an enemy of Poliwell, of the police, she had her own alliance. They were all changelings to begin with. They could have stopped Jack with the throne. Jack wouldn't be able to use the take of the spell, the magic, because he couldn't use the magic.
We've seen Tara drain her magic once before.
Yeah, but not near the throne.
Okay.
Remember that throne actually stopped every magic, other than changeling magic.
That might be true, yeah. If the battle took place there, she would probably have an advantage.
Yeah, so she would have been a very powerful ally. But yeah, there are things that happened that cannot be thrown away.
Yeah, this story kind of ends up like a sort of what-if story because you know the removing her memories would reset this, but if that didn't happen, you get a glimpse of how she could have turned out with a better influence, like the heroes here, and especially Salazar. He deeply got to her, and an intense and unexpected way for her.
Then there would be only two creatures on that statue in the Castle Garden. Nothing.
Yeah, maybe. So, what'd you think of this chapter?
One
of the common moments of this arc.
There was no comment. It is a very big job from someone. Just like, no, we want to talk about trouble. What happened there? No, but this happened bad. There also we had no phone calls, so this proves that the communication is not working. Maybe the teleportation is not working either.
There was actually a brief mention of something else that was important in this chapter, but might not seem that way. What did you think about the part where it said that Mirage is only lightly tugging to try to influence Krakow right now? It's as if Mirage was distracted.
I see it as Mirage having what is it called? A leash for Krakow. He lets her move around until she needs her. He might be distracted, sure, but I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay.
It's like when I'm walking with my dogs. I don't pull them all the time, I just let them run around.
Having walked some dogs myself, I've noticed the other way around too. The dogs are pulling on you. And sometimes if you're not careful, you might trip.
No, that's why we have the leash. We actually teach them to, okay, you can go to the maximum of the leash, but don't go further. So they are not really pulling that many times, maybe that when they see some birds. Otherwise, no? But it seems like everything she does right now is according to plan for Mirage. Even though if she is distracted, maybe by something that the doctor is doing.
Well, she could have learned a lot of interesting information from this conversation if she was paying attention to what Feather was saying. Like now she's learned about the weather control and all that.
Yeah, Featherman could have just cleaned up all the floor. On his own. But what would she say if Feather was like, yeah, I'm a Mythmonster too? When he answered. Also, I have a stupid question. Is the mist source always wet? Or wetting your coat, your fur?
Yeah, it's like a wet blanket. It's made of clouds, so of course it's always going to be a little moist.
So I'm assuming, because we know that Featherman is not wearing a flying suit, he actually has another layer of magic on top of his coat. I mean, his fur that pass the moisture.
Yeah. It did say that it's constantly leaking mist, but I think that the truth is it depends upon some outside conditions and how moist or dry or hot or cold the outside temperature is compared to the cloak.
Just like
the cloak, sometimes the cloak is also crackles with lightning, especially when the wearer is agitated.
but right now he is weeping, so the missus is weeping as well.
Uh-huh. He has the same influence on the cloak while wearing it. Like Rainbow Dash climbed onto a cloud when she was sad, and it suddenly turned black and started raining.
Ah, the phantom message. And we start saying the phantom of the opera.
The Phantom knows.
Yeah, we fast 11 in 4 days, by the way.
Okay.
And the message saying that leave that one room of them for us. And tomorrow Sunday I will have to go to work. I will make a sale and send it to. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.